If you haven't done already, please head over to patreon.com/BootWizard to check out how you can support the channel, because it makes a huge, huge difference. Join us, become a wizard. So our starter and probably our first issue is the box. It's the presentation. There's only 25 of these in the world. They weren't charged at a huge premium or anything like that, but this is just a standard Puma box. There's nothing special about it. Every single Puma release comes in a box like this. And then when we open up the box, there's no extras, no string bag, nothing, basically. There's not even an extra set of laces, anything like that at all, which is disappointing when you're pushing a boot that there's only 25 of in the world. You've got a huge selling point here and a captive market of people, and it's just a red box with nothing extra in it. String bag would have been a nice touch. We will move on to the boots, and these are the Puma Ultra, and they are the Unisport 25th Anniversary Puma Ultra. So that's why there's only 25 pairs. They were released in collaboration with Unisport to celebrate the fact that Unisport has been running for 25 years, which is kind of funny because it's just the essence of like commercialism, isn't it? That they've been selling boots to us for 25 years, so they then celebrate that by selling more boots to us. It's pretty funny, or at least I think it is. But anyway, so you can see this. Every element is Unisport inspired. You've got the Unisport green with the white and blue, and then in the logos here you can see there are 3 different logos. So there's the jumping cat, the classic Puma logo, then you've got the standard Unisport logo, which is their slightly newer, more updated logo, and then just here this is a special 25th anniversary Unisport logo to celebrate this 25th anniversary. All great stuff, but it's not the greatest looking boot, is it? Like, I don't mind the color combination, the green, white and navy. You can't really go too far wrong with that. It's a good looking football boot in terms of color, but I think going for this repeating logo pattern down the side, and it's just ended up looking quite blocky. Like, this section here hasn't even kind of followed along with the navy taping. It just feels a little bit tacked on, and it's just not as nice as maybe you would hope it would be. There's so many things they could have done maybe with this Unisport logo, and having it repeating in a fashion that's very reminiscent of something like maybe that Pogba Adidas boot, or even the the Louis Vuitton style of small repeating logos. I just don't think it really ticks the boxes here. So that was a little disappointing, shall we say, but the colorway isn't bad. A couple of details I do really like are up on the collar here. So there's a couple of sets of coordinates, one here and one here. This one here are the coordinates for the Paris Unisport store, and this one here are the coordinates for the Danish Unisport store in Copenhagen. And I just think that they're simple, effective, and they're not super in your face. And then when you flip the boots over as well, you get the Copenhagen store on the left boot and the Paris store on the right boot, just on the very front there onto the toes. And again, I think that's a nice touch without being over the top. And while we're over on the sole plate, I think this looks great as well. The blue stripes with the Unisport green bottom, I think they've done a really good job with the design of this one, and then just having those coordinates through the front of the boot and having 2 different ones for 2 different stores on the front there, I think looks really, really nice. I think they've done a great job with that. And it really is just these repeating logos that kind of, I think, let the whole boot down, and especially because they're just blocked in a way that makes the whole boot just look worse than it is. This is a good looking football boot. It has a nice silhouette, even if I have described it as being a little bulky at times, but I just don't think it's been used to its full potential here. Insole is also a nice touch in those Unisport colors, and then with the Unisport 25th anniversary logo down the bottom here, which I think looks fantastic. Although with this particular boot, I know it's kind of more of something for collectors, you don't get, or I don't think you get, based on how it feels or looks, the Nano grip insole. So this is the Nano grip insole from the Puma Ultra 1.1. You don't get it on this particular variation, the one for Unisport. At least it doesn't feel like you get it anyway. I spoke in the introduction about numbering and how that really can push a limited edition boot over the edge. A boot that's not numbered versus one that is numbered can really be the difference between a good limited edition and a great limited edition, or at least one that's more collectible. These are numbered, kind of. Not really. So on the back of the boots here, you can see on one boot you have the 25 in Roman numerals, which corresponds of course to that 25th anniversary, and then you get the Unisport logo down at the taping at the bottom. And then for this one you get 1 of 25, so you get your numbering down the back with the Unisport logo. Now I got these, and while I've said on many occasions, and I still stand by it, the number that you have in a boot really isn't important. I have always had a bit of a soft spot for getting number 1. It just, I don't know, it feels a little bit more special, even though in most terms it's absolutely not. So I picked these up and I was like, oh sweet, I've got number 1. And then I looked at the wording and the way this is put together, 1 of 25. Which led me to believe or start thinking that in actual fact, every single boot had 1 of 25 on it. I went and checked the Unisport website, which, you know, look at the pictures that they have there. You can occasionally, if it's number 1, that'll be the boot they use for the promo pictures. So I checked and it says 1 of 25. I'm like, okay, is it the same? Then I look inside my boots. If you pull out the insole of my boots, very interestingly, can't get the insole. Never work with animals, kids, or wizards. If you look inside my boot, down the bottom on the insole, it actually says marketing sample. Now, I don't know if any other boots say this, but the little sticky label that gets added says marketing sample, which led me, like, kind of pushed me back towards, oh, maybe this is actually number 1, and it's the pair that they used to take the photos with for the Unisport website. Maybe I do actually have something a bit more special here. So I did a bit of investigating, bit of digging, didn't take very long or much effort to be honest, but yes, every single boot is labeled 1 of 25 as I suspected. Why it says marketing sample on mine, I'm not sure. Maybe it is the pair they took the pictures with, but at the same time, it's not, having 1 of 25 isn't exactly any more exciting than just having 25 in Roman numerals down the back, is it? So value. Limited edition boots are traditionally worth more money. More people will pay big money to get hold of limited edition boots. These sold out in about an hour, which I will say for a boot that there's only 25 of, and considering when you compare that to how fast these Unisport boots sold out, which there was 400 of, there's no comparison. These sold out considerably quicker. These were not particularly difficult to get hold of at all. Admittedly, they were launched a little bit out of the blue with pretty much zero hype, so if you just happened to be on the internet when they announced it, it wasn't very difficult to get. But the value. In my view, these aren't worth a great deal. I wouldn't say that if I put them up for sale right now, I would get back the price that I paid for them. I just think that, one, Puma limited editions don't tend to hold their value very well. If you look back at some of the limited editions from last year, you had the Paris limited edition, which was also a Unisport collab. You had the LA limited edition, the Tokyo limited edition. I think you would struggle to get retail price for those in the resale market. They're very cool boots, and some of them are definitely worth more than others. Maybe, for example, the Tokyo one, because it was harder to get hold of, or maybe the LA one from Nike Sports, that was kind of hard to get, especially in Europe. But I think you'd still struggle. If the Manchester one, for example, that I've seen those sell for significantly under retail price already, and there's only 60 of those in the world. So being 25, being that it's not a particularly attractive boot, and being that it is not properly numbered, I don't think they're worth a huge amount. They're cool for a collection. I'm probably going to use mine, to be fair, but yeah, if you're looking to invest and you're a collector that wants to get high value items, I probably wouldn't be chasing a pair of these down. I touched on this earlier when I mentioned the Memory Lane Pack Unisport boots. These had a big hype and a big build, and everybody was waiting for them. These didn't have that, and not only that, they were released just after these Memory Lane F50s that everybody went mad for. So these really had the wind taken out of their sails before they even had a chance to get going. And then, like I say, on top of that, they've not been particularly well received critically in terms of their appearance. So you could ask, why on earth did I buy them? Well, quite simply, I wanted another pair of Puma Ultras because the pair that I have at the moment, the orange pair, I'm actually selling. If you would like to buy them from me for an insanely cheap price, then feel free to drop me a message or head over to my Instagram at BootWizardBootReviews. Drop me a message there. So I'm selling those, and I wanted another pair, just in a different size actually. And I love having boots that are just different to what anybody else is going to have. If I turn up to the pitch wearing these, the chances that anybody else has them are very, very slim because there's only 25 pairs. I don't tend to collect for value. I don't tend to collect that much. I realize you can see a stupid amount of boots behind me, but most of them are used. I don't tend to hold on to boots that I'm not going to use. They all get used and reviewed for the channel. So yeah, they're a cool boot to go out and play in, and something to have that's a little bit different. So if you do want to see a playtest with these exact pair, then please do hit the like button and comment down below. Let me know and get subscribed so you can pick that up. Do remember, of course, to head over to patreon.com/BootWizard, where you can see how you can support the channel, because it makes a massive, massive difference to us. It keeps the channel going. I do promise you, this is very hard to run. It's incredibly expensive, incredibly time consuming, and every person on Patreon is amazing. But that is all from me here today. Have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Fail.